How you doing, guys? So my name's Cordell. I'm a Picture Trust ambassador, and today I'm got the honor to speak to Kieran Thompson, the founder and CEO of his own social organization, social enterprise, helping kids achieve. And today we're going to be doing this whole concept around the Stephen Lawrence Day, which is an amazing, important day, especially for our communities. And it's all about living our best life and contributing and helping others. And I think we've got an amazing person, an amazing guest to talk about his journey. And hopefully, we both can inspire you guys with our best life and what we do and how we contribute as well, man. So, Kira, man, thanks for joining us.
No worries. Thank you.
Definitely appreciate it, man. So tell us a bit about your organization, helping kids achieve, and how did you start it, and what was your main motivators for doing it?
Yeah, so helping kids achieve, it started, say, around 3 years ago now. One of my main motivators was seeing the deprivation levels in my area, in my community where I live, and seeing young people causing antisocial behavior, young people getting stabbed, young people dying, and young people not having that guidance and that support. And so I wanted to be that kind of person that steps in and help these young people and help be a positive role model to these young people and get other positive role models within the community that these young people can look up to. Another reason was when I was 17, I got badly beaten up with baseball bats and glass bottles because I just simply wasn't from that area. And I wanted to show other young people that you don't have to go through that, or you don't have to attack other young people because they're not from that area. I wanted to show them that we're all human and we all should work together and help each other instead of fighting against each other. And that was really what I wanted to do, and why I set up Helping Kids Achieve, is to show these young people that there's better things that they can look forward to in life instead of just being in that bubble and not really thinking outside that box. I wanted young people to come out of that crab in the bucket mentality and show them the wider world of opportunities that's available to them if they just have the right support. And that's why I'm here, to give these young people that support and growth that they can look forward to.
Yeah, man, and that's incredible, man. It's incredible to see positive role models within their own communities and going on, and not just trying to run away from it, actually being the front person, the front liner within their community. And just like myself, I've gone through an urban, disadvantaged community growing up, having troubles as well, man. And going on to achieve what I've done, it is that real sense of giving back is why we do what we do, man. So we really respect you for that. And you did say, one of the things I heard you say is, when you was younger, you got beat up, and it was quite severe, and you decided to use that as motivation to push and help kids in that same area where you got beat up. How does someone do that? Let them know, like, how did you do that? How did you find that courage to think, what, instead of running away or even taking revenge, how do you turn that negative experience into a positive?
For me, when I was 17, I got beat up, and I could have went two directions. I could have went the route of revenge, or I could have went the positive route and help support these young people. I had so many people from rival areas come to me and say, "No, let's go and get revenge. Let's go and get a gun, and that we can go out there and shoot them," and all sorts of mad things, And that, for me, that was never me. I've always wanted to support and help people. I've always been a caring soul, but I've never really had that proper guidance that I feel like I needed. But it's always come from an internal place of just wanting to do better and wanting to help people. And so I thought, now's my chance to kind of stop these young people from doing the same things what happened to me. I didn't want to see no one go through the same thing that happened to me. I didn't want to see young people go to prison for attacking other people just simply for the fact that they weren't from that area, And so for me, it was a brave decision for me to go back into that area and help and support these young people. I remember it, I think it was a year after it had happened, and I started volunteering in a youth club in that very area. And when I used to go on the bus to the youth club, I used to see the guys outside the shop hanging about, you know, and I used to duck because I was kind of scared that they would see me and then like they would start attacking me again. So it was that kind of thing of like having to put on a like a brave face, and just being resilient really in wanting to help and support other young people. And then obviously I think it was 10, 11 years after, I'm here now and I'm back in that very estate where I got beat up. And I could be working with like the uncles, sorry, not the uncles, the nephews, the sons of these young people that beat me up, you know? And so for me, it's one of them where I just want to show them that just because you're where you are in your surroundings, you know, doesn't determine what your outcome is going to be. You know, you can be something special. Just because you come from a deprived area doesn't mean that you are going to end up either selling drugs or going to prison. You know, there's such a big future out there for you, and this is what I want to show these young people, that just because you come from a deprived area doesn't mean that you're going to end up as a nobody. You know, I tell these young people all the time that I've come from a deprived area. We never had a lot at all. My family's never had a lot, but I've always wanted to achieve better for myself, and I always wanted to come out of this situation, a bad situation, smiling. And so this is what I kind of show these young people.
That's amazing. That's incredible, man. It's like I remember I had a similar situation where, you know, and I could literally say that was the defining moment to, you know, getting to me where I was, where I, you know, some guys came round, and because I was buying and selling, you know, products online, and you know, people in the area couldn't quite understand, you know, what I was doing, so they wanted to take it away from me, and you know, they came and you know tried to rob me, stuff like that. Came balaclava. You know, my auntie was scared for years. In me as well, like I'm not that person to go out and take revenge, despite everyone that wanted to do it. And I had to, but I used that situation to mold myself to where we are today. So it's really key to let young people understand that these moments, you know, even though they're scary at times or there's a lot of pressure, they can be key moments to building your future, man. Just like you've done with yours, man. So that's amazing. And you know, you've gone on, you know, you've helped, you set up your organization, you're helping kids across the city, and you're doing some amazing work. And you know, BBC come knocking on the door with an amazing national award. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so yeah, that was a bit crazy. So for me, I've never set out to do what I'm doing to win awards or kind of get recognition for what I'm doing. I just want to help these young people. It just comes from an honest place and just wanting to support these kids and get them off the streets and get them doing something positive. And so I remember I was in a meeting. I think it was like a anti-violence meeting that I was in, and I got a phone call from somebody, and I knew that from the phone call from the person that popped up, it was an important call. So I went out and took it, and she said to me that she's nominated for me for the BBC Unsung Heroes Award, and I was like, wow, like I'm very grateful, you know, because I've never won an award in my life. I've never been nominated for anything in my life before, neither. So it was just like, wow, I really appreciate that someone recognizes me for the work what I'm doing, you know. But I never really thought nothing of it because like there's thousands of people that get nominated for this awards like every year, you know. And I'm thinking, why me, from Kieran from Nottingham? Why am I going to win an award like that, you know? So I thought, okay, that's nice. And then I kind of forgot about it after that, you know. And then I think it was a few days later, I get another phone call. But this time I didn't recognize the number. And I was like, hello? And like they said, this is such and such from the BBC. I was like, oh, right. Like, just want to let you know that you've been shortlisted for the BBC Unsung Heroes Award. I was like, wow. Like, immediately, like tears started like flooding into my eyes. Like, it, because as I said, nothing like that's ever happened to me before, you know? And so just being shortlisted was like a massive thing for me. And so we went on to do like a video clip to show people what I actually do, as I was a regional finalist. And then it went on to like the regional news to see who would actually win the regional finals. And yeah, what they will do is they will come and surprise the winner at one of their sessions. And so as the days went past and I was at my sessions and thinking, oh, okay, no one's turned up. It reached the Friday. I was like, okay, I probably haven't won, but I'm like, I'm happy for whoever has won, because the rest of the organizations and the people that were doing work in the community are like very, very special people, you know. And I thought like they deserved it, you know. And so yeah, I was happy for them. But then yeah, on that Friday afternoon, they came down and surprised me and said that yeah, I'd won the regional finals. And so if we actually see the clip, I was dead shocked, and like tears just started flooding. Like I kind of embarrassed myself on national TV. But no, it was a very special moment. Like winning my first ever award and like basically getting the recognition from my peers, really, because it was people that work in the community that were on the panel, and like they recognized me for the work that I was doing. And I think that was like extra special, that like peers that do community work voted for me to win that award. So yeah, it was really nice. And then obviously winning the regional awards, you go to the national finals at the Sports Personality of the Year Awards. And yeah, I thought, wow, so I've won this regional award. Whatever happens from here is a bonus. I really didn't expect to win the big awards. You know, I was just there for the experience and to kind of, I treated it like a just meeting other people and wanting to get to know what they were doing, and seeing if they wanted to come down to our sessions and doing some stuff, you know. I just treated it like that, really. Um, and then obviously, well, we was up on the stage, and yeah, I was on the stage with Gabby Logan and Gary Lineker, and it's crazy. Like and then they called out my name, and I was like, if you see the video, I was dead shocked. I was like, what, me? Like I really couldn't believe it. Like it felt like I stepped in front of my TV. It was a very surreal experience. And then seeing my name on the big screen and like showing my video, I felt like I had stepped out of my body, and like I was like, yeah, I felt like I was somewhere else. So it was an amazing moment that like I'll never forget. But it is all down to like, I put it down to not just me, but like all my volunteers that help and support, and all my young leaders as well, because without them, really helping kids achieve wouldn't be nothing, and I probably wouldn't have won that award if it wasn't for them as well. So it is like, they play a massive part in all of this, and that's what I said in my acceptance speech, is that it's down to all these guys, the young people, the families, that come and bring their kids down to the sessions. You know, they play a massive part in this, in helping kids achieve what it is, and bringing that community spirit. You know, and that's what I intended to have when I started this, is to have that community spirit, and have that spirit in which everyone looks out for each other. You know, the parents aren't just looking out for their own children, they're looking out for other children as well, you know, and trying to it's each one teach one kind of thing, and that's what I intended to do with Helping Kids Achieve. And yeah, and that's why I have to shout them out as well, for their contribution in me winning this award. So yeah, it was a massive thing.
Yeah, man, and definitely shout out to everyone in, helping kids to achieve, and all the young leaders. It's really amazing when you get a collective of people to work on, a vision that you've built, and everyone work on a collective goal that can help everybody elevate and achieve, man. It's amazing, man. So definitely congratulations on that as well, man. And
Thank you.
you said something as well in there that was pretty amazing. Like, you didn't do it for no reason. And I believe that's why, you've gone on to win these things, is because, the universe has kind of just opened its door for you to come and collect these things, because you haven't done it. You just wanted to put the work in without no recognition. And, you're just an amazing person. So well done for that, man. And what about, so if I had to say, in the next couple of years, the next 3 years, where would you want your organization to go? Like, what are your next couple year goals? Where do you see yourself in the next couple of years with this organization?
Yeah, so we've got a lot of ideas and plans in the pipeline, you know. So our main focus, our main sport, what we engage young people with is basketball. And so basketball is the fastest growing sport within the UK. It's a very urban sport. It taps into the young people that we wouldn't necessarily get, because I mean, there's a lot of organizations that use football or boxing as that tool to engage underprivileged young people, but there's a large chunk of young people as well that play basketball, and so there isn't really that much basketball facilities and basketball organizations on a ground level that engage young people. The ones that are out there, they are quite expensive for the young people to engage with, and they're quite far out as well. So they're not in the inner city, whereas our organization, we're in the middle of Nottingham. We're right in the inner city, engaging with these young people, and like it's cost effective, as we only charge like £1 for the young people to engage with, and that's a donation. So like a large chunk of these young people, they just come anyway and they don't pay. So but yeah, so basketball is what we want to kind of grow in within the next few years. And so what we've done is we've made a partnership with an organization called Pass Move Grin, where they have a scholarship program at the local school, Borwell Academy. And so what we're doing is providing the basketball scholarships for these young people that want to engage in basketball in sixth form, and take it more seriously. And so yeah, we're in the process now. We're trying to set that all up and get students coming in so that they can be there for like the next 2 years, and then we can hopefully offer them scholarships to colleges within the States or within Europe. And so, yeah, we want to try and develop these young people and make them get a career out of basketball, really. What we also want to do is branch out. Doing what we're doing with our basketball and our multi-sports activities. We want to get into more places within Nottingham and also within the East Midlands, and yeah, just get more sessions going really, and engaging more young people, and yeah, and like helping them and supporting them and like giving them that chance that they deserve.
Yeah, man, that's incredible, man. You got some big goals there, and you've gone on to achieve what you have already. So no doubt that you're going to smash it in the next few years as well, man. So definitely good luck with all that, man. And the last thing that I wanted to kind of talk to you about is, I do a lot of work with kids in schools and motivational speaking workshops, one-to-one mentoring, and You know, one thing, but you know, the whole theme is, you know, transform, inspire, transforming and inspiring young life. So how does it feel when you see a young person that comes to you and, you know, they're going through hard situations or they might not have a lot, and seeing that progression and seeing that transformation at the end once you've done all the work with them? How does that feel for you?
Yeah. It's an amazing feeling, you know, the amount of times that I've had young people message me or like come up to me and say how I've impacted them and how I've changed their life around. And so for me, what we do, we work in like an early intervention standpoint where we try to engage these young people as young as possible. So we have young people as young as 7 coming to our sessions. And like we really want to get to them before like they turn that corner and then they get influenced by older people within the community. And so we've had young people that are like 10 and 11 come to our sessions, and when they're there, when they started out, it was really bad, like, fighting, arguing, you know, young people as young as 11, like smoking, like carrying pen knives and things like that. And like I've sat down and talked to these young people one on one and told them that this isn't the life that you want to live. Like, I know that you can do better than this, you know, and just really trying to boost their self-esteem and encourage them to want to do better in life. And sometimes I feel like it falls on deaf ears, because like they'll come into their sessions and it will be the same thing again week after week after I've just told them and like just did a massive lecture to them. But then it's like something just clicks, and then they turn that corner, and then they realize what I was saying to them was the truth and I wasn't lying to them, you know. And they realize and they'll message me and like, Kieran, what you've done for me is amazing. Like I want to change my life. I want to change my life around. I want to do better in school. Like I want to listen to my mom. You know, there's all these little things that these young people are now starting to do. And I feel like it's a massive thing because a lot of these young people, they don't have that guidance. I feel like for me, what was missing for me was not having that father figure in my life. And a lot of these young people, they don't have that positive male role model in their life. And so for me, I wanted to be that positive role model to them, to show them that there can be positive male role models around in the community that actually care for you, you know, and they're not just going to prison and then coming out and like you're seeing them do negative stuff. I want to show these young people that there are positive males around that do actually care. And so yeah, it's massive that I'm seeing these young people start to change their life around and wanting to come to, come to me and we're going to anti-knife crime rallies, doing marches, and like they're sitting down in conferences and they're having their say on how they want to see their community changed. And I would have never imagined when I started working with these young people that they would actually be doing all of this kind of thing, you know, and me having this impact on them. Like it's amazing to see, and I feel like I can see the community of these young people, especially in one of the areas that I work in, is changing for the better. You know, a lot of the young people now are starting to click together and not fight each other and be friends and not want to cause destruction to their own neighborhoods and their area. They just want to see this area get better and help one another. And like they know now that it's about helping their community and not destructing their community. And I think that's what's so special about. I feel like what I'm doing is kind of creating that sense of community for these young people. So yeah.
Man, that's incredible, honestly. And lastly, just before we go, just in a few short words, the whole
Yeah.
theme is, you know, living your best life. What does that? What would you say is living your best life?
So I'd say living your best life for these young people is to do something positive with yourself, you know, go out and reach for the stars, think outside the box, come outside your comfort zone and try new things, you know, and like the sky's your limit. That's what living your best life is.
Definitely, man. Love that, man. Listen, it was an amazing interview. Thank you so much for coming on, speaking to the Pinches Trust today, man. You've been amazing, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Cordell. Nice to speak to you, man.
Nice to speak to you, man.